Hey everybody. I like to start things out with a giggle, and man, today, no giggles today. Um, Really raucous time in the market. We were on the better side of it, thank goodness. There are lots of people that maybe probably weren't, uh, and I know that we got in pretty early in the trade and got out pretty early in the trade, and so. It's been a very interesting day for us.
Hey everybody.
So
I like to
you hear
start things
that?
out with a
That's
giggle and man today. No
that's the
giggles
delay.
today.
So let me get this
Um,
Hangout link
Really raucous
out
time in the
in
market.
real
We
time.
were on the
So I'll be
better
back with
side
you
of
guys
it.
just a moment.
Thank goodness. There are lots of people that maybe
There's that
probably
delay,
weren't. And I know that we got in
Okay.
um,
So
pretty early in the trade and got out pretty early in the trade. And
go
so
ahead and
it's been a very interesting day for us.
put that mute off there, and then post this in the. Still some housekeeping here I have to do. Um, Anyways, you can see I'm absolutely delighted that Money.net restored the default settings. So you're getting a chance on my live trial day 7 to actually see the platform in the attitude of the pitch for the modules. So I'm really excited to kind of walk through the modules today because it looks as though my platform is stable, and I think that the modules look fantastic on the screen. So hopefully we'll get some feedback from the outside world on how this all looks. And as you well know, there's that delay, which makes it, always something that you should have for yourself. But this is a great way for you to kind of, see some of the things that I find of value, and maybe that could help in your decision making to go over to Money.net, check out their trial, and potentially become a subscriber. So, as the boots on the ground, kind of a girl that I am, we'll just kind of run through the platform today, leave it running for a little bit so that you can hear maybe some of the news that comes through, etc., etc. So, let me get my link out there so that we are part of the outside world. And let me figure out how I should do that. Okay, so we're over here. Started the Hangout over here. And got to Hangout as a standalone. So we'll click that. Get the chat up. That would help. And I'll put the Hangout in the chat. Live, the YouTube live, so I have that for later. And then come on over. I think we're good. Yeah. Okay, so I'll be bringing this all down and sending it out over to Google Plus and then over also to Money.net. So bear with me for just a little bit. I'll put the window down. Thanks while I huddle about. Okay. This is where I'm going to make sure that I'm not making any mistakes. Okay, so there we go there. There we go there. Get out of that. Come on over to Gmail. Let them know that I'm live. And ooh, very good, very good, very good. We're hearing from their sales team that the futures technical charts should be available in the next 30 days. And okay, so I'll send that over to their sales team. And I'm going to talk to a Michael Pacheco. Michael, Michael Pacheco, Pacheco. And he's part of their sales team. He's been very helpful, as has been Zane, Zane. They have an OLARP chat when you go over to the platform. And so reach out, tell them that I sent you over there, and give it a try. Let me get it over in my Google Plus. And even though it's a little ways away, at about 9 o'clock, the Chasm is going to be joining me with the Hangout. I know that he reached out to me. I don't know if he wants to do a private Hangout or if he's happy to kind of give us a rundown, see what's going on in the world, his world anyway. So I hope that the Chasm, you know him as the Chasm over at TradingView. So I'm looking forward to that. Send that over to him. And share. Okay, I think that does that. And already you can just feel my computer is just on fire. So let me see if I can get rid of some of these windows. And I need that window now. Coming in and right now there's the email. But other than that, okay, so I've got my YouTube video and so forth and so on. All right, so you know that this is trial day 7. So for those of you that have popped in, just a few of you, I guess, have popped in to see kind of what I'm looking at. And so right now I am on an extended trial, which is really gracious of them, because it looks as though I had some Norton issues. I did have to do a few little upgrades and fixes on my laptop, which is just, an old VAIO that I'm running this on. Once it's up and running, it runs really cool. It's when we try and take it over to Hangouts that, it starts to get burdensome there's resource intensive. It may also take a little bit of memory from you, but for the most of the guys that have trading computers or laptops that are dedicated to broadcasting outreaches, this isn't going to be a problem at all whatsoever to run money.net. You'll see that there's lots of modules that are available, and I am going to keep this for the trial day 7 live overnight session. I'm going to keep this as an in the default mode. I made one change, and that was the newsroom that you'll see, the newsroom module over here on the right. I believe the default that was sent me was on the left. But I think what it does is that it rotates out. So you pop a module out, and then you go to modules and tile on modules, and it kind of rotates in a counterclockwise method. The tiles kind of move around. But for this session, now that looks like we do have something that's more stable, I wanted you to just see the 6 working modules, and then as the news comes in, at least be able to hear the news feed. So you're not going to be hearing, a lot of me. We'll wait, see if Joe wants to come on or anyone else wants to come on and chat with me. And if not, we'll just let it run because that's how we like to do things. Yeah, so that all feels great. So we've got our platform in the background, the Hangout in the foreground, and yeah, make sure that we're getting live. Everything's live. We're getting 507 news feeds, and I think I'll start next week. I'll start working on this watch list, and so we'll build out our watch list and see if we can get some numbers here in this portfolio. I do like the way that the module for the market summary is too, where you have your indices, the forex, energy metals, and your ags are, all nice and tidy. I like this a lot. And we won't be expanding or blowing up any of these modules in this particular session. Okay. So that's what it is. And for anyone that's on the outside that stops by, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And if there's a little bit of music that I could play, you guys know I would play some music. I did find someone finally who, as long as you give him attribution, but it's meditation music. And I know some of you like the meditation music, and then it's not so cool after a while. After about 15 minutes, the meditation music has a way of not being very, well, it's just not very entertaining. And so this particular session, like the others, has really just been so that I can document the process in findingmoney.net, bringing the platform up, seeing the issues, seeing how I can use it and how I can make actionable trades. And so that's why there's been this very simple kind of approach to it. So I'm not here to really do any kind of editorialization or, over speak about the market. You guys, all know that we're in the market all day, every day. And I do have to tell you that there were some definitely actionable trades that have since last Monday last, yeah. RENT, fabulous trade, off of an analyst call. Been following that name for a long time and did a very quick Ruby chart on it, and it just had all the markings. Beautiful, beautiful trade, and it's just been a great producer over the last 9 days. So there was a little bit of an early kickoff to rent, and I had made that mention, but because I wasn't with the platform, I have no idea what analysts had come in from, the underbelly of the trade, but it's a great RENT. Here's your ticker. So, all right, bring that down. And I think we're cool there, right? Yeah, as long as you've got, I think they're cool. I think you're going into these tabs with me. It doesn't matter if you want. Oh, I know what I want to check and make sure. I can tell you. Let's just make sure that we are live. Go to filter. Like I have to label it live, and then I have to filter it live. Ooh. It's not picking up. Okay, let's see why not. See why not. ideas. Indigo. Offers. Okay, so this is odd. This is why I think it is different. So if I go here, there's overspeak, sorry. Yeah, there you go. Change settings. 537. So we're cool. Okay, I'm cool with that. And you guys are actually seeing, see, that's something else too. Okay, so the screen that you were seeing was the mini.net. Let's make sure about that then. There we go. Okay, feel pretty secure now. Okay. And if you hear me coming, pulling them down, don't worry about that. Trying to break in a pair of boots that I got, and got a really nice pair of Sorels. SORR. Spelling. I wrote about them on my G Plus, and they're very nice boots. Thing about boots when you're Sorel, SORELL.com, is it's really not the getting on. I'll tell you what, you need help getting boots off. That is really interesting. So there's a couple of things that you can get. And I know when you have riding boots, there's some type of like put your heel into that. It's like a boot remover or something like that. I need to look into something along those lines. And you've noticed also in my G Plus that I've been putting a lot of kind of things that I'm interested in. And as you know, the retail names, I've always had some basket of retail names, and I was very concerned. American Apparel shutting down all of its UK stores, and just the retail environment. The XRT, I believe, is the retail ETF, and although I think I did a chart on Macy's. I can't tell exactly. That's why I think that this watch list, the quote grid, will be a really great outlet for someone like myself. And I know that there's plenty of others. Not only do you have baskets of names that you're very curious about and you kind of want to watch and see how a trade will develop before you take action. But then also you want to take names from others that you might respect or things that you just are have a fascination with. We do need to probably have two watch list quote grids. Three really. One would be for the analyst grid. The other one would be for the retail or what your true focus is. And the other one might be just the current social sentiment. And these could be car recalls, weather-related incidences, Ebola, So, wars, etc., things that are more in the, like headline concentric. So I think that having those 3 watch lists and seeing those names develop and ideally coming into some type of ownership zone, so that would be really great. But what you're experiencing with Money.net is this, it's elegant, it's rather, um, it's very deep. A lot of the information, these are things that are they're not easily found, and then you have to iframe them yourself, and etc. And it's difficult to curate a lot of this on your own, even though a lot of the platforms offer this sort of thing individually. I think to have it be curated in this way, and of course the deployment of the modules is just phenomenal. So for those that have seen platforms like this, you can see that it's to mimic one of the more or the Mac Daddy of them all, and that is the Bloomberg terminal. And the fellow that founded Money.net actually comes from that world, and yet he's making this offering at just a pardon me. Hold up. The offering for the retail trader at the price is so well priced out. And we have gone through many subscription services, and most recently, the reason that we looked for Money.net is IQ Charts, which used to be our standalone charts for the futures market. Was a very clean little platform. It also allowed for you to do some simple coding, which was kind of cool for us. And it stood apart from the trading platform. It stood apart from IB. And then it felt more secure because it was just a charting platform. But they are no longer a service. We got an email, and a very quick email that said that thank you for your business for all of these years. I think we've been with them for almost 6 years. Yeah. And but they're no longer in business. So we had to go out there. I'm looking at Sierra charts. I looked at Warden. I went over this the other night as to how it is that I came across Money.net. So I went on to just, I hit up New York Post. And sometimes they'll have some ads off to the side, et cetera, et cetera. And they had just published this article about Money.net's founder. So I just looked at it. I showed Quiet what the deal was, and so we've been on the trial. The reason for the extension on the trial was really having more to do with the way that my computer is set up and the issues that I have with Norton. So definitely, before you head over there, make sure that your computer can handle the stream well, and so that there's no hitches or glitches. But they've been very helpful and just came right in and offered to help me right away. And I was resistant at first, and then this afternoon I said, this platform is just too good. I can't not have it. And so they got Zane on it, Zane, and he got into a Join Me, and got into my laptop, and we sorted it out, and it looks as though it was the Norton, which came with my laptop, and I've never installed it. I've never paid for Norton, but they, I guess, are somehow inside of the system. We found the Money.net and made a couple clicks, and then there we are.
4-star analyst Simon Flannery from Morgan Stanley reiterated a hold rating on $T. Simon has a 70.7% success rate.
Okay, so you can see that we're just now getting a Money.net newsroom. This is a 4-star analyst, Simon Flannery from Morgan Stanley. reiterated a hold rating on T. Assignment has a 70.7% success rate, and then they give the direct link off to the side. So that is just fantastic. This is how Rent came about. So for example, if we're doing our research, it's reiterated a hold rating. So we could go over to T, see what the setup is, get a feel for how the analyst is looking at the name, and just from a technical standpoint, because we don't know exactly what the hold is all about unless we were to go in and find out for ourselves. I guess maybe this link here would tell us, but that would be he's reiterated a hold rating on T. Okay, so we can come over here, even though I'm watching, and we'll just take a look at T. We'll take it over to the technical charts. And I wanted to see about this Formula One story. I'm trying to follow. I think that this is. I don't know if they're going to let me pull it up or not. Okay, so we have T. That's AT&T closing up at 33.84. And what I might be able to do is expand this. I'll go ahead and put a ruby on it and see where ATT is. And I should be able to pull this story up. Okay, let's see. Okay, look at that one. So 33.84. So once again, an analyst at a Morgan Stanley has put a hold rating on T. And we'll go back over to the euro. And they also have a library of symbols. Probably go over that too. And we're looking at the euro USD. And I think you just do it that way. I don't think there is a / Let's see if there's yeah, there should not be. Oh, I put it as a futures. It's not. It's Forex. I'm trying to do this one-handed, which is not a good idea, probably. All right, there we go. Yeah, I think it looks really great on YouTube. I really do. So once those futures come out, what I can do is put the futures up, the news, and maybe the heat map. I'm not too sure that we need the market summary, so we'll play around with that. Good call. And then, of course, having the shortened newsroom too. I think we need to have that. Probably larger. And then the clock probably smaller. But I like this very clean, where the tiles are nice and clean like this. Looks great. Okay, so the platform is running good, and that's what we're most interested in. And the Hangout is holding up pretty well. Go ahead and do the presentation on everyone. I don't know what they said. And let's see, we'll take it off a group chat and let it just run. I'm keeping the audio on too, in the event that the newsroom has a squawk. Okay, looks good. Yeah, alrighty. And for anyone that comes from the outside that takes a look-see down the road, thank you very much for stopping by. Go ahead and subscribe if you like this sort of thing. I find stuff like this a lot, and I try and just do the live versions rather than setting up a webcam and trying to edit and all of that stuff. I think it's just good. For me anyway, it's just good just to see it live, and that way it's also a documentation of what took place without there being any editing. You're just not over editing the content, which I appreciate. So that's why we do it this way. Although I'm sure you'd like to have the news fast forwarded. It's kind of like, can you fast forward the market? Do you mind? Do you mind, Beauty? I had someone, this was hysterical. Why would we want to watch, this was back in the day of Empty Gox. Why would we want to come and watch you watch the 1 minute ticker on Empty Gox? Gee, I don't know. I don't know why you would want to do that. I guess you haven't figured that out either. So, but I'm just using the technology, and and I usually find a way of having a lot of fun out of it too. So it's not just a zero. It's not a zero sum, like some people might think. It is not a zero sum game for me. I'd rather be on this side of learning about these things and being open and curious and okay with my own thoughts and knowing that I'm not an entertainer, I'm not a broadcaster, I'm not a foolazoid. I like to think about things. I like to hang around people that think about things, and so I don't know. That's what you get. All wrapped up into one. Okay, so we're going to bring the Hangout down. Now there are many other modules. So tonight we're just looking at the 6 modules. So you have a technical charts module. And yes, there are tools. There are drawing tools that you can access, and the overlays and indicators. Then down below there, you have your market summary, which are your indices, your forex, energy metals, and your grains or your ags. And those are also in real time, which is very cool. A watch list, once again, this is all things that you can create and curate on your own, create on your own so that it's particular to your interest. There's the watch list. And then we have the clock, and that's just so that I can make sure that we're getting good, clean data coming in, and it's in real time. And then over here on the right, this is the radar X-ray analytics. And for those of you that are familiar with FinViz or any heat map, this is a heat map, and it's in real time. It's fantastic. Down below, you have your newsroom, and the filter here, they have thousands of curated sources from Twitter, the futures market, Bloomberg. All of the media outlets are featured in the newsroom. There's also an audio feature for their own curated news that comes out, which is really valuable for anyone that's following the release of numbers and also for breaking news. So you can literally have money.net off to the side, and then you get this live squawk, but it's not entertainment. There's no entertainment value, it's just straight from the source. So that in itself to me is, puts it in a different realm. If you want to, it would be wonderful if some of the, if you could curate and have some of the, like some of the tweets read out loud, and that would be kind of cool. But so those are the 6 modules that I have up tonight. Okay. And I heard birds, and I will tell you that it has been, we get wood delivered tomorrow. So quiet, and I have been trying to figure out, we have this great little room off to the side. I call it the shade room. I don't know what other people call it. It's a shade room. It's completely, it's like a screened-in porch, but it's got, a roof on it, and it's got side, looks like a room. And so he wants to put the wood on his wood holders out in the screen room. Well, in the screen room during the winter, I wanted to make it look like a little winter wonderland out there. So now I know what I'm doing. And you know that we're redoing, I don't know, I would say we're redoing like 60% of the house. Well, but I don't know, by springtime, maybe 60%. So instead of just monitoring, I think we're doing pretty well. Let me try and get a couple of things done here. A creaky porch on the house. Where did that go? I wonder. I know, it sounds like I'm in a ski lodge. And it just kind of feels like that. That's because I'm trying to break in these things. All right, well, it looks like the news, everybody's probably all tired out, and the platform has never looked more stable than it is right now. We have our pop-ups blocked, and so that's that. All right, so that's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and conclude the session. Everything looks good. We only heard one news story come out, and that was about AT&T. And so we'll just let it, we'll stop the broadcast right now. Thank you very much. And it's just another day in the can, right? I didn't mean it to sound like this. I'm just saying it's just another little broadcast in the can. So thanks very much for stopping by. This is Beauty Bubble. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And there's always something really cool that's, that's coming around. And for whatever reason, when you put out the vibe that there's cool stuff out there for you to be attracted to, it just happens. So come on by, and we'll see you next time. Bye.